Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
Is choosing these pronouns something we should even support, though? You still clearly know you're a straight male, but some people, part of the LGBT community, believe they are a different gender. Yeah, the whole point with the whole gender conversation is that it's all made up, Elite. You know, all of the pronouns are made up. You know, all of the concepts around them are constructed. You know, what makes a person masculine in our society, doesn't necessarily make them masculine somewhere else. You know, I think the point is personalization. We're shifting to a society or a world that is more focused on the individual and less focused on fitting you into these boxes. And so, if someone like me, I'm a male, biologically, my sex is male and I'm a man and I don't have a problem with that. I'm not questioning that. But there are people that, there's a lot more complexity to it. And there are people that, are intersex, right? It's not so clear which sex they are, and the whole gender concept in general, which is what the pronouns are. The pronouns have to do with your gender, is all invented anyway. And if someone wants to, be a man, if someone like me wants to have a she them, who cares? How does it affect you at all? It doesn't. And but of course, for me, I don't care. But for some people, they maybe, it's very important to them to identify as female, as she, her, or even non-binary. That's the other thing, is it's not just about that binary dichotomy. It's also about people who want to be neither and want to be asexual, want to be they, them. It makes no impact on your life or anyone else's, and that's their choice. And I think that the society as a whole benefits from giving people those options, and it doesn't hurt anyone. So where should we draw the line? Should people be able to genuinely believe they're animals? But see, you degrade the conversation and you demean it by saying, "Oh, they're going to identify as animals." That's a very old homophobic criticism. Is saying, "Oh, well, gay people who want to get married or want to be in a gay relationship, they're just animals. They're no different than animals." That's ridiculous. That being heterosexual or homosexual is fine, all of that stuff. And if someone wants to choose their own pronouns, it has nothing to do with being an animal, or choosing to be objects. But nobody's out there saying I'm a cat. Nobody really believes they're a cat, Okay, there's like furry people who like to cosplay and pretend that they're they're animals. But again, they're not, as long as they're not hurting anyone, the line would of course be drawn here, as it is everywhere, with consent, not assaulting people. But if the people that are furries, they know they're not animals. They're not thinking, "Oh, you have to call me a cat or a dog." It's a large part of that is the human propensity to role play and to pretend and to fantasize. I can think I'm a cat, but I'm not a cat. And again, it's not the same thing. Nobody is thinking they're a cat. It's a ridiculous jump to make, to go from saying, "Well, this person is choosing these pronouns, and we can't let them do that because this other person thinks they're a cat." Who cares? If this person wants to be crazy and think they're a cat, okay, and Elise says, "I didn't say anything about gay people. That's a real thing. I'm saying letting people truly believe they are different gender and becoming complicated, detached from reality, with believing they are animals. Also, about 1 in 3 furries report feeling not 100% human, with a small fraction, 8 to 14, meant this in a physical sense. It's not nobody. In fact, it's a lot of people." So I think that the difficulty in accepting that people are going to be trans, the reason I bring up gay people is because it's a spectrum, right? It's all part of that same conversation. So you accept that gay people are real, but you don't think that people should be able to change their gender. Fine. What I'm saying is that there is a certain percentage of the population that genuinely feels that they were born into the wrong body, sex-wise, and that that it is life saving care for them to transition. And if that's what somebody wants to do, then I have no problem with that. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect society. It's not a bad thing. There are no negative effects on people. In fact, the regret rate of like knee surgery, like the trans surgery, the actual regret rate of having a transgendered surgery is like point one. It's like incredibly low. It's like 0.1%. It's like it's such a small, abysmally small percentage that people that have like knee surgery have like a 30% regret rate, right? It's like such a insignificant percentage. Like the vast majority of people that change their gender like are very happy with that change, and I think they should be allowed to do that if that's what they want to do. As far as like letting people truly believe their other genders, I think it's the same thing, right? It's a spectrum. Like if like it's with me, like I say that my pronouns are she them, you know, are you gonna call me that? You know, you don't seem like the kind of person that would, and I'm not going to lose any sleep over you not doing that. I don't care if you use my preferred pronouns. I actually think it's amazing that we're living in this time in human society when we are becoming more differentiated, right? The point is, whether we're talking about pronouns or trans people or gay people, if we're talking about these different things, the point is that I think we're getting to a society that really is able to be more creative and more innovative because we're letting people be themselves. And there's energy that comes out of the human body that gets stuck. And again, this is why I really like talking about abuse that people suffer when they're children, because there's energy that gets stuck in the human body by trauma and by and which, by the way, like and by abuse, which I still think that people being and really at the very fundamental level, a good definition of trauma is, or I don't know if it's trauma, but anyway, a good definition there is like basically a person that can't be themselves, a person that is rejected for being themselves. And so if someone else, you know, maybe they were born, and also you should look up this stuff. You know, I feel like you haven't really read about this stuff. I haven't really read about it as much as I want to, but look up what it means to be intersex. I mean, look up what percentage of the population is actually born with both reproductive organs, both male and female reproductive organs. I mean, it's not the point. A big point of this conversation is that these things aren't as clear and clear cut as we have thought and we have treated it in the past, and that you know you can educate yourself and you can learn about, well, you know how many people are actually born with both, you know, male and female reproductive organs, and then the doctor kind of decides when the child's born what that child is going to be. There's information out there about that, and I think that, you know, you would enjoy having that perspective.